World War II is nearing its end in Europe. Germany is close to defeat. But the war continues in the Pacific. Japan is still fighting fiercely. The Pacific War has been long and brutal. Millions of lives have already been lost. Battles are fought island by island. Each island costs thousands of soldiers. The fighting is extremely violent. Surrender is rare. Japanese forces refuse to give up. Honor is valued over surrender. Civilians are deeply involved in the war. Cities are already destroyed by bombing. The United States grows exhausted. Casualties continue to rise. Public pressure increases. Leaders search for a final solution. The goal is to end the war quickly. Any cost seems acceptable. Japan still controls large territories. Allied forces planned further invasions. An invasion of Japan is considered. Estimates predict massive casualties. Millions could die on both sides. Fear spreads among planners. The war seems endless. A decisive weapon is desired. Something powerful enough to force surrender. Something never used before. Secret research has been ongoing. Scientists work in hidden locations. A project is created in secrecy. It is known as the Manhattan Project. The goal is unprecedented power. A weapon unlike any before. Nuclear energy is explored. Atomic reactions are studied. Scientists race against time. Fear of enemy development drives urgency. The project costs billions of dollars. Thousands of scientists are involved. Secrecy is absolute. Even soldiers know little. Political leaders are briefed carefully. The weapons' power is uncertain. But expectations are enormous. Success could end the war. Failure could change nothing. The risk is accepted. By 1945, the weapon is ready. Germany has already surrendered. The bomb is no longer needed in Europe. Japan remains the focus. Military leaders debate the next step. Demonstration or direct use is discussed. Time is limited. Lives are still being lost daily. The decision becomes urgent. The weapon is prepared for use. Targets are carefully selected. Cities with military importance are chosen. Hiroshima is placed on the list. Nagasaki is also considered. Civilians live in these cities. This fact is known, but war logic dominates. The decision moves forward. History approaches a turning point. Humanity stands at the edge. No one fully understands the consequences. Scientists express private fears. Military leaders focus on victory. Political leaders focus on ending war. Moral questions remain unanswered. The final order is prepared. A single bomb will change history. The world is unaware. The countdown begins. The atomic age is about to start. In early 1945, leadership changes in the United States. President Franklin Roosevelt dies suddenly. Harry Truman becomes president. Truman inherits a global war. He is briefed on secret projects. The atomic bomb is revealed to him. The weapon's power shocks him. Scientists explain its potential destruction. Military leaders explain its purpose. Ending the war becomes the priority. Japan still refuses to surrender. Despite heavy bombing, resistance continues. Kamikaze attacks increase casualties. American losses are high. Families fear more deaths. Public support for invasion weakens. Military planners present invasion plans. Casualty estimates are terrifying. Hundreds of thousands could die. Truman faces immense pressure. Advisors debate possible options. One option is a full invasion. Another option is continued bombing. A third option is the atomic bomb. Scientists suggest a demonstration. Military leaders doubt its effect. They fear Japan will not surrender. Surprise is considered essential. Speed is considered critical. The bomb is seen as decisive. Moral concerns are discussed briefly. Civilian casualties are acknowledged, but war logic dominates the room. Ending the war quickly becomes justification. Saving Allied lives becomes the argument. The bomb is framed as necessary. Responsibility feels overwhelming. Truman hesitates, but listens carefully. The decision grows closer. History narrows to one moment. Japan is issued final warnings. Calls for surrender are broadcast. The warnings are ignored. Japanese leadership remains divided. No clear surrender is announced. Time runs out. Military commanders prepare the mission. Air crews are trained secretly. Special aircraft are modified. Security is absolute. The bomb is transported carefully. It arrives at the Pacific base. Weather conditions are monitored closely. Targets are reviewed again. Hiroshima remains a primary target. Nagasaki stays on the list. Civilian populations are known, but military importance is emphasized. The final order is written. Authorization is granted. Truman gives approval. The responsibility becomes reality. There is no turning back. Scientists wait anxiously. Pilots prepare silently. The world continues unaware. Normal life continues below. A weapon, unlike any other, is ready. Humanity stands on the brink. The mission is scheduled. The date is set. The crew is briefed. The weapon is loaded carefully. Safety procedures are checked repeatedly. The plane prepares for takeoff. Engines warm on the runway. Dawn approaches. History holds its breath. A single decision will change everything. The atomic mission begins. 161 Hiroshima is a peaceful city. In 1945, 162, it is home to civilians, families, and workers. 163. Schools open every morning. 164. Markets operate normally. 165. Children play in the streets. 166. The city has military importance. 167. But most residents are civilians. 168. Life continues despite the war. 169. Air raid warnings have become common. 170. But Hiroshima has faced little bombing. 171, many believe the city is safe. 172. August 6th begins like any other day. 173. The morning sky is clear. 174. People leave homes for work. 175. Trains run on schedule. 176. Students head to school. 177. Offices open as usual. 178. No one senses danger. 179. High above, aircraft approach silently. 180. The bomber flies alone. 181. The plane is named Enola Gay. 182. It carries a single bomb. 183. The bomb is cold. Little boy. 184. Its power is unimaginable. 185. The crew follows strict instructions. 186. The target is Hiroshima. 187. Weather conditions are perfect. 188. The city is clearly visible. 189. Final checks are completed. 190. The bomb is armed. 191. At 8:15 a.m., the bomb is released. 192. It falls silently toward the city. 193. No alarm sound. 194. People look up curiously. 195 seconds feel endless. 196. The bomb detonates mid. 197. A blinding flash fills the sky. 198. Light, brighter than the sun, explodes. 199. The city is engulfed. Instantly. 200. Heat reaches thousands of degrees. 201. Buildings vaporize at the center. 202. Human shadows burn into walls. 203. Streets disappear in fire. 204. Shockwaves tear through structures. 205. People are thrown violently. 206. Glass shatters everywhere. 207. Fires ignite across the city. 208. A giant mushroom cloud rises. 209. Hiroshima is destroyed within seconds. 210. Silence follows the blast briefly. 211. Survivors emerge in shock. 212. Many are burned severely. 213. Skin hangs from bodies. 214. People wander aimlessly. 215. Cries fill the air. 216. Hospitals are destroyed. 217. Doctors and nurses are dead. 218 help is unavailable. 219. Firestorms spread uncontrollably. 220. Thousands die instantly. 221. Radiation spreads invisibly. 222. Survivors feel strange sickness. 223. Hair begins to fall out. 224. Bleeding starts unexpectedly. 225. No one understands why. 226. Water is desperately sought. 227. Rivers fill with victims. 228. Bodies cover the streets. 229. Hiroshima becomes unrecognizable. 230. A city is erased. 231. News spreads slowly. 232. The world struggles to understand. 233. A new weapon has been used. 234. Humanity enters the nuclear age. 235. Survivors are left traumatized. 236. The suffering continues 4 days. 237. Death toll rises constantly. 238. The scale of destruction becomes clear. 239. History is permanently altered. 240. Hiroshima will never be the same. Just 3 days after Hiroshima, events move quickly. Japan has not surrendered yet. American leaders fear delay. Military pressure continues. A second atomic bomb is ready. The goal is to force surrender. Another mission is approved. Time feels urgent. Diplomacy is sidelined again. History accelerates forward. On August 9th, 1945, the mission begins. A bomber takes off early morning. The plane carries a new bomb. This bomb is called Fat Man. Its design is different. Its power is even greater. The original target is Kokura. Clouds cover the city. Visibility is poor. The crew circles repeatedly. Fuel begins to run low. The mission cannot be delayed. A secondary target is chosen. That target is Nagasaki. The plane changes direction. Weather conditions remain difficult. Clouds block clear vision. The city appears briefly below. The decision is made instantly. The bomb is released. At 11:02 a.m., the bomb explodes. A blinding flash fills the valley. A massive fireball forms instantly. Mountains reflect the blast. Shockwaves crush buildings. Factories collapse immediately. Homes disappear in seconds. Heat burns everything nearby. Thousands die instantly. Nagasaki is devastated. The terrain limits total destruction. Hills block parts of the blast. Some areas survive partially, but the damage is enormous. Fire spread rapidly. Survivors stumble through ruins. Many are badly burned. Others are wounded by debris. Screams echo through the valley. Chaos fills the city. Medical facilities are destroyed. Doctors are overwhelmed. Supplies are insufficient. Treatment is nearly impossible. Radiation spreads silently again. People feel sick without knowing why. Hair begins to fall out. Internal bleeding starts. Fear grows rapidly. Death continues. 4 weeks. Nagasaki's civilian population suffers deeply. Families are erased completely. Schools vanish instantly. Churches collapse. Communities are destroyed. Another message is sent to Japan. Resistance now feels hopeless. The cost is undeniable. The world watches in shock. 2 cities have been destroyed. 2 bombs have changed history. The power of nuclear weapons is clear. Humanity confronts a new reality. Japan's leaders face an impossible choice. Continue fighting or surrender. The suffering cannot be ignored. Time is running out. A final decision approaches. The war stands on the brink of ending. After Nagasaki, Japan faces total devastation. 2 cities are destroyed completely. Civilian suffering is undeniable. The leadership can no longer ignore reality. Emergency meetings are called in Tokyo. Government leaders argue intensely. Military generals demand continued resistance. Others call for surrender. The nation is divided. Time feels critical. News of the atomic bomb spreads slowly. Survivors report shock officials. Radiation effects are still unclear. Fear grows among the citizens. Another bombing seems possible. Cities across Japan feel threatened. Civilians live in terror. Shelters fill with families. Panic spreads quietly. The war feels unwinnable. The emperor is informed fully. He listens in silence. The destruction weighs heavily on him. He considers the nation's survival. Tradition values honor over surrender. But survival becomes the priority. The emperor breaks with military advice. He chooses peace. His decision is historic. Never before has this happened. The emperor records a message. His voice is calm and formal. The message is broadcast nationwide. Many citizens hear his voice for the first time. He announces Japan's surrender. The war is officially ending. Silence fills homes. Some cry in relief. Others cry in grief. Shock spreads across the nation. Soldiers lower their weapons. Fighting slowly stops. Prisoners are released. The Pacific War ends. World War II is over. Celebration erupts in allied nations. Crowds gather in streets. The joy is mixed with sorrow. The cost has been enormous. Millions are dead worldwide. In Japan, ruins remain everywhere. Hiroshima and Nagasaki suffer silently. Survivors struggle to live. Radiation sickness continues. Families mourn endlessly. The nation begins recovery slowly. Occupation forces arrive. Japan enters a new era. The old war system ends. A fragile peace begins. The atomic bomb has ended the war, but it has opened new fears. Humanity has crossed a line. The nuclear age has begun. Power beyond imagination now exists. The world must live with it. Moral questions remain unanswered. Victory feels complicated. Peace feels fragile. History takes a new direction. The war ends in silence. Smoke still rises from ruins. Survivors look toward the future. Hope mixes with trauma. Memory becomes a burden. Lessons begin to form. Humanity reflects on destruction. The cost of war is clear. The story is not over. The consequences will last forever. After the surrender, survivors face a new struggle. The bombs have stopped, but suffering continues. Hiroshima and Nagasaki are cities of ruins. Survivors are called hiba. They carry physical and emotional scars. Burns never fully heal. Pain remains constant. Daily life becomes difficult. Many cannot work again. Poverty spreads among survivors. Radiation sickness worsens over time. Symptoms appear weeks later. Hair loss continues. Skin diseases develop. Internal organs are damaged. Many die months after the blast. Doctors struggle to understand radiation. Treatments are limited. Medical knowledge is insufficient. Fear dominates survivors' lives. Children are born with deformities. Genetic damage becomes visible. Parents feel guilt and despair. Families fear future generations. Misunderstanding spreads in society. Survivors face discrimination. People fear contagion. Hibakusha are avoided. Marriage becomes difficult. Social isolation grows. Psychological trauma remains hidden. Nightmares haunt survivors. Loud sounds trigger fear. Memories return unexpectedly. Depression becomes common. Survivors feel forgotten. The world moves on quickly. Their pain remains personal. Silence surrounds their suffering. Healing feels impossible. Governments respond slowly. Aid is limited initially. Survivors demand recognition. Medical support improves gradually. Research on radiation expands. Lessons are learned painfully. Survivors begin to speak out. Their stories shock the world. Testimonies reveal true horror. Statistics fail to capture pain. Hiroshima becomes a symbol of peace. Memorials are built slowly. Nagasaki follows the same path. Annual ceremonies honor victims. Silence becomes remembrance. Survivors share warnings. Their message is clear. Nuclear war must never happen again. Humanity must listen carefully. Memory becomes responsibility. The suffering is not just Japanese. Humanity feels the consequences. The world learns fear of nuclear power. New global anxieties emerge. Trust in science becomes complex. Power feels dangerous. Control feels uncertain. The future feels fragile. The atomic age reshapes thinking. Fear enters global politics. Survivors continue their lives quietly. Each day is a reminder. Scars remain visible. Memories remain painful. Their voices grow stronger with time. The world begins to listen. Awareness spreads slowly. The human cost becomes undeniable. The story deepens further. The lesson demands attention. News of the atomic bomb spreads worldwide. Governments react with shock and fear. The weapon's power is unimaginable. Military experts study the destruction. Scientists debate responsibility. Moral questions dominate discussions. Celebrations of victory feel uneasy. Fear replaces excitement. Humanity realizes a new era has begun. The nuclear age is born. The United States becomes the first nuclear power. Other nations feel threatened immediately. Allies feel both relief and anxiety. Enemies feel exposed and vulnerable. Power balances shift suddenly. Nuclear weapons redefine warfare. Total destruction becomes possible. War changes forever. Deterrence replaces strategy. Fear becomes a weapon. The Soviet Union accelerates its research. Espionage increases rapidly. Scientists race again. Nuclear secrets are stolen. Trust between nations collapses. Suspicion becomes permanent. The Cold War begins quietly. Alliances harden worldwide. Ideologies clash globally. The world becomes divided. Nuclear tests follow quickly. Explosions shake remote lands. Fallout spreads invisibly. Environmental damage is ignored. Power is demonstrated repeatedly. Fear is normalized. Arms race intensifies. Stockpiles grow larger. Destruction potential multiplies. Humanity lives under threat. Civil defense plans are created. Fallout shelters appear. Public drills prepare children. Fear enters daily life. Nuclear war feels possible anytime. Leaders speak carefully. Mistakes could end civilization. Tension defines politics. Peace becomes fragile. Survival becomes strategy. Scientists warn about consequences. Some regret their involvement. Calls for control grow louder. Anti-nuclear movements begin. Protest voices rise globally. Art reflects fear and anxiety. Literature explores apocalypse. Culture absorbs nuclear dread. Memory of Hiroshima returns repeatedly. Nagasaki becomes a warning. International discussions begin slowly. Treaties are proposed. Control becomes a goal. Prevention becomes necessary. The world seeks balance. But trust is limited. Fear remains powerful. The shadow of the bomb persists. Every conflict feels dangerous. The future feels uncertain. Hiroshima's ruins speak silently. Nagasaki's scars remain visible. Survivors' voices grow stronger. History demands remembrance. The world listens cautiously. Lessons are still debated. Power continues to tempt leaders. Humanity stands divided. The bomb reshapes destiny. The story moves forward again. After the war, questions begin immediately. Was the atomic bomb necessary? Could the war have ended differently? Historians debate endlessly. Opinions remain divided. There is no single answer. Moral responsibility becomes central. Humanity questions itself. Victory feels complicated. Silence follows celebration. Supporters argue the bomb saved lives. An invasion of Japan was expected. Casualty estimates were extremely high. Millions might have died. The bomb forced quick surrender. The war ended within days. Allied soldiers were spared. Leaders justified the decision. Speed is seen as mercy. War logic dominates this view. Critics argue civilians paid the price. Entire cities were destroyed. Children died instantly. Innocent lives were lost. Suffering continued for decades. Radiation effects were unknown. Long-term damage was ignored. The weapon targeted populations. Ethics were compromised. Humanity crossed a line. Some suggest alternatives existed. A demonstration could have been used. Diplomatic options might have worked. Japan was already weakened. The Soviet entry added pressure. Time may have forced surrender. These arguments remain controversial. Proof is impossible. History cannot be replayed. Doubt remains permanent. Scientists express regret later. Some feel responsible for destruction. Others defend their work. Moral conflict divides them. Science meets politics. Ethics clash with strategy. Knowledge becomes dangerous. Responsibility feels shared. Guilt spreads quietly. Silence returns again. Governments defend national interests. Citizens struggle to judge. Distance reduces empathy. Numbers replace faces. Statistics hide pain. Survivors' stories change perspectives. Personal accounts reveal truth. Memory challenges justification. History refuses simplicity. The debate never ends. Each generation re-examines the choice. New wars revive the question. Power tempts leaders repeatedly. Fear justifies extremes. Ethics are tested again. Hiroshima remains a warning. Nagasaki remains a reminder. The cost is human. The lesson is painful. Judgment remains divided. There is no final verdict. Only consequences remain. The bomb ended a war. It also changed humanity. Moral certainty disappears. Questions replace answers. Reflection becomes necessary. Memory becomes responsibility. The debate shapes the future. History leaves the question open. After the bombings, the world seeks control. Fear drives international discussion. Nuclear weapons feel too dangerous. Humanity fears self-destruction. Global leaders debate responsibility. Law becomes a possible solution. Control becomes a shared goal. Prevention becomes urgent. History demands action. The world looks to cooperation. The United Nations is newly formed. Peace becomes its main mission. Nuclear weapons dominate early discussions. Committees are created quickly. Proposals for atomic control emerge. Transparency is suggested. Shared oversight is discussed. Trust becomes the main obstacle. Nations hesitate to share power. Fear undermines cooperation. The Cold War intensifies tensions. Rival blocs form rapidly. Suspicion replaces dialogue. Nuclear weapons become symbols of power. Possession equals influence. Disarmament feels risky. No nation wants weakness. Stockpiles continue growing. Arms control slows. Hope weakens temporarily. Early treaties attempt limits. Testing bans are proposed. Atmospheric tests raise concern. Radiation affects global health. Scientists warn governments. Public pressure increases. Fear reaches citizens worldwide. Protest movements grow stronger. Voices demand accountability. Governments begin listening. Partial agreements are reached. Nuclear testing is restricted. Underground tests continue. Progress feels limited. The threat remains real. Accidents increase anxiety. Near misses are revealed later. Humanity comes close to disaster. Lessons are learned narrowly. Survival feels uncertain. The idea of non-proliferation emerges. Preventing spread becomes priority. Some nations agree to limits. Others refuse participation. Enforcement remains weak. Power politics continue. Nuclear inequality grows. Trust remains fragile. Peace depends on restraint. Restraint depends on leadership. Law struggles against fear. Ethics struggle against power. Control struggles against ambition. Humanity struggles against itself. The bomb still exists. Stockpiles remain deadly. Cities remain vulnerable. Consequences remain remembered. The world walks a thin line. Balance defines survival. Agreements reduce some risks, but total disarmament remains distant. The shadow of Hiroshima persists. Nagasaki's memory remains alive. Law offers limits, not solutions. Peace requires constant effort. Forgetting invites danger. Remembering encourages caution. Humanity continues forward carefully. The atomic legacy remains unfinished.
Decades pass after the bombings. Hiroshima and Nagasaki are rebuilt slowly. Modern cities rise from ruins. Life returns to the streets. But memories never disappear. Survivors carry the past daily. Trauma lives quietly. History stays present. The cities become symbols. Symbols of peace and warning. Memorial parks are created. Museums preserve the truth. Photographs show destruction. Artifacts tell silent stories. Visitor silence fills the halls. Education becomes a mission. Students learn about the bomb. Teachers explain consequences. Memory is passed forward. Forgetting is resisted. Annual ceremonies honor victims. Names are read aloud. Bells ring in remembrance. Moments of silence are observed. Survivors share testimonies publicly. Their voices shake audiences. Pain becomes education. Suffering becomes warning. The message remains consistent. Never repeat this. Atomic bombs enter global culture. Films depict devastation. Literature explores fear. Music reflects anxiety. Art expresses trauma. Stories warn of apocalypse. Fiction mirrors reality. Fear becomes narrative. Nuclear themes persist. Culture absorbs the lesson. Video games include nuclear imagery. Popular media normalizes destruction. Some fear desensitization. Others see education. Debate continues. Memory risks dilution. Simplification hides suffering. Accuracy becomes responsibility. Storytellers face duty. Truth must be protected. Younger generations feel distant. Time creates emotional gaps. Survivors grow older. Voices grow fewer. Urgency increases. Documentation becomes critical. Testimonies are recorded. History is preserved digitally. Memory adapts to technology. Lessons find new forms. Hiroshima speaks beyond borders. Nagasaki speaks to humanity. Their message is universal. Power must be restrained. Science must be guided by ethics. War must be questioned. Memory must remain alive. Education becomes defense. Awareness becomes protection. Humanity learns slowly. The atomic bomb remains relevant. Its shadow reaches the present. Modern conflicts recall old fears. Nuclear threats still exist. The past warns the present. Listening becomes essential. Silence becomes dangerous again. History demands attention. The story continues forward. Memory guards the future.
The world has changed, but the bomb remains. Nuclear weapons still exist in large numbers. Multiple nations now possess them. Power is spread, not removed. Fear is global, responsibility is shared. Mistakes can be fatal. Humanity lives under constant risk. The shadow of the bomb remains, safety feels uncertain. Global politics remains tense. Rival nations compete for influence. Power struggles continue. Old rivalries evolve. New conflicts emerge. Nuclear threats resurface in crises. Warnings are issued publicly. Fear becomes political language. Deterrence dominates strategy. Trust remains fragile. Accidental war becomes a fear. Human error remains possible. Technology increases complexity. Systems depend on decisions. Seconds can decide fate. False alarms create panic. Near misses are revealed later. Humanity survives by chance. Luck replaces certainty. Survival feels fragile. Terrorism creates new dangers. Nuclear materials become targets. Security becomes critical. Global cooperation is required. Borders cannot contain radiation. Fear unites threats. Protection requires unity. Division increases risk. Humanity faces shared danger. Solutions demand cooperation. Scientists warn again. Environmental damage is highlighted. Climate impact is discussed. Nuclear winter theories resurface. Global ecosystems are threatened. Food systems face risk. Civilization feels vulnerable. Survival becomes collective. No nation stands alone. Humanity shares fate. Leaders speak of deterrence. Activists speak of disarmament. Debate continues globally. Fear drives policy. Ethics challenge strategy. Power challenges morality. Security challenges freedom. Progress feels slow. Hope feels fragile. The future feels uncertain. Young generations inherit the risk. They did not create it, but they must manage it. Education becomes essential. Awareness becomes defense. Responsibility shifts forward. Memory becomes protection. History becomes guide. The past warns the present. The present shapes the future. Hiroshima remains a reminder. Nagasaki remains a warning. Their lessons still matter. Their pain still speaks. Their story is unfinished. Humanity still chooses paths. Power still tempts leaders. Fear still influences decisions. Silence still creates danger. The world still stands at a crossroads.
Across the world, voices begin to rise. People demand a nuclear-free future. Fear turns into activism. Silence turns into protest. Memory becomes motivation. Survivors inspire movements. Their stories awaken. Their pain becomes purpose. Peace becomes a mission. Humanity begins to organize. Anti-nuclear movements grow globally. Students march in streets. Activists organize campaigns. Communities hold demonstrations. Artists join the cause. Writers spread awareness. Scientists speak publicly. Moral voices gain strength. Unity replaces fear. Hope replaces silence. International organizations respond. Conferences are held. Global dialogues begin. Nuclear disarmament becomes a goal. Treaties are discussed seriously. Pressure builds on governments. Public opinion shifts slowly. Accountability becomes demand. Power faces resistance. Authority is questioned. Education becomes central. Schools teach nuclear history. Students learn responsibility. Awareness shapes values. Memory builds caution. History becomes guidance. Ethics become foundation. Peace becomes principle. Violence is questioned. War is challenged. Religious leaders join calls. Moral institutions speak out. Faith becomes advocacy. Compassion becomes policy demand. Humanity finds shared voice. Global identity strengthens. Borders feel less important. Shared survival becomes priority. The world feels connected. Responsibility becomes collective. Governments respond cautiously. Some reduce stockpiles. Others resist change. Progress feels uneven. Power structures remain. Fear still influences policy. Security still dominates. Trust builds slowly. Dialogue replaces isolation. cooperation becomes possible. Peace is not automatic. It requires effort. It requires courage. It requires memory. It requires unity. It requires leadership. It requires responsibility. It requires humanity. It requires truth. It requires action. The future is not written. Choices still exist. Paths remain open. Humanity still decides. Power can destroy. Power can protect. Knowledge can harm. Knowledge can heal. History guides the way. Responsibility defines destiny. Humanity stands at a crossroads again. The past offers warnings. The future offers choices. Power can destroy. Power can protect. Knowledge can harm. Knowledge can heal. Responsibility becomes central. Leadership becomes critical. Vision becomes necessary. Nuclear weapons still exist, but awareness has grown. Fear has created caution. Memory has created limits. Survivors have shaped conscience. History has shaped values. Humanity begins to reflect. Reflection leads to restraint. Restraint leads to safety. Safety leads to hope. Education becomes the foundation. Young generations learn the truth. Schools teach responsibility. History classes teach consequences. Science classes teach ethics. Leadership training teaches restraint. Knowledge becomes balanced. Progress becomes cautious. Innovation becomes ethical. Power becomes accountable. Diplomacy becomes essential. Dialogue replaces threats. Negotiation replaces aggression. Cooperation replaces rivalry. Trust grows slowly. Confidence builds carefully. Peace requires patience. Stability requires effort. Security requires unity. Survival requires cooperation. Technology advances rapidly. Control systems improve. Safety protocols strengthen. Monitoring becomes global. Transparency increases slowly. Accountability expands. Power becomes visible. Secrecy decreases. Risk reduces gradually. Fear weakens slowly. Activism continues worldwide. Voices demand disarmament. Youth lead movements. Hope replaces despair. Courage replaces silence. Action replaces fear. Unity replaces division. Humanity finds strength. Global identity grows. Shared destiny is recognized. Prevention becomes the goal. Education becomes the method. Memory becomes the guide. Ethics become the compass. Humanity becomes the answer. History becomes the teacher. The future becomes possible. Peace becomes achievable. War becomes avoidable. Destruction becomes preventable. Hiroshima remains a warning. Nagasaki remains a lesson. Their pain becomes purpose. Their story becomes guidance. Their memory becomes protection. Their voices echo forward. Their suffering shapes conscience. Their message is clear. Never repeat this. Never forget this.
The atomic bomb changed history forever. Not just cities, not just nations, but humanity itself. Power reached a new level. Destruction gained a new meaning. Fear gained a new face. The world crossed a line and never returned the same. The atomic age began. Hiroshima became a symbol. Nagasaki became a warning. Their names carry weight. Their stories carry pain. Their memory carries responsibility. Their suffering carries truth. Their history carries lessons. Their voices carry meaning. Their silence carries warning. Their legacy carries duty. This story is not just Japanese. It is human. It belongs to every nation. It belongs to every generation. It belongs to every leader. It belongs to every citizen. It belongs to the future. It belongs to memory. It belongs to responsibility. It belongs to conscience. Power without ethics is danger. Knowledge without wisdom is destruction. Science without humanity is fear. Strength without compassion is violence. Victory without morality is loss. Progress without responsibility is chaos. History without memory is repetition. Silence without courage is complicity. Forgetting without learning is disaster. Humanity without conscience is empty. The future still has choices. The path is not fixed. Destiny is not written. Humanity still decides. Leaders still choose. Societies still shape values. Education still builds minds. Memory still guides action. Courage still changes history. Responsibility still matters. The bomb ended a war, but it began a question. A question about power. A question about morality. A question about survival. A question about humanity. A question about the future. A question about peace. A question about choice. A question about us. History speaks clearly, but it does not decide. Memory warns, but it does not act. Knowledge informs, but it does not choose. Humanity must decide. Humanity must act. Humanity must protect. Humanity must remember. Because forgetting is dangerous. Silence is deadly. Fear is powerful, but responsibility is stronger. Hate destroys, but compassion rebuilds. War breaks, but peace heals. History warns us. Never again